In this video, we'll be taking a look at 3 NBA games happening on March 28, 2022. Welcome back to Cash Out Sports. Let's dive right into it. Oh, and don't forget to subscribe and to click the bell icon to get notified as soon as these videos get released, so that you have more time to plan out your bets. As we provide these videos on a daily basis, I can guarantee that you'll have all the important information that you'll need on these 3 NBA games after fully watching this video. One more thing before we start. If you would like to gain access to our best exclusive betting picks to take your sports betting journey to the next level, then check out our Patreon in the link down below, where we offer anywhere from 2 betting picks a day up to 10 betting picks a day and much more. Now let's get started. San Antonio Spurs versus Houston Rockets. The San Antonio Spurs will conclude their 4-game road trip on which they recorded 3 wins, and Greg Popovich's side is a favorite to close it with another victory. The Houston Rockets did something they haven't for a long time. They won 3 of 4 games, 2 of which came against the Blazers on the road. These Southwest Division rivals have met 3 times this season, and San Antonio leads the series 2-1. The Spurs were better in 6 of the previous 10 head-to-head encounters. The San Antonio Spurs have played their best ball on the road this season, where they win by an average of 0.3 points. And they need to take advantage of games like this if they're going to sneak into a play-in game. The Spurs are right there and are coming off a strong week. The Houston Rockets are no strangers to blowout losses, and while they've won a couple of games lately, wins over the brutal Trail Blazers doesn't move the needle much. Houston has been eliminated from playoff contention, but San Antonio is 11th in the Western Conference and just a half game behind the 10th-place New Orleans Pelicans, which gives the Spurs a bigger incentive to win on Monday. San Antonio has covered the number in 4 out of its last 5 versus Houston. The Rockets have failed to cover the number in 8 out of the last 9 when playing against an opponent from the Southwest Division. The Spurs have come to life with 4 wins in their last 5 games overall, and they look good in their hard-fought win over the Pelicans on Saturday. The Rockets were one of the coldest teams in the league before their recent run of form, and they will be full of confidence after beating up on the hapless Trail Blazers twice. San Antonio is still playing for a chance to get into the play-in game, so every game is important, and heading to Houston they will look to put on a statement. San Antonio is currently averaging 112 PPG and shooting 46.5% from the field and 35.1% from 3. Houston, meanwhile, is allowing 116.3 PPG, which is the worst in the NBA. And opponents are shooting 48.2% from the field and 35.1% from 3. As well, the Spurs are 37-36-1 against the spread, while the Rockets are 31-43-1. So the San Antonio Spurs to win and cover the spread as favorites is our full game side pick. Even though the Spurs scored 130-plus points in both of the previous 2 head-to-head encounters, none of those games produced more than 238 points. San Antonio's defense played well in the last few games and kept the opponents to below 110 points in each of the past 3. Both teams are playing fast basketball with brief possessions and a lot of attempts, but considering how San Antonio's defense is playing at the moment, I doubt the Rockets can be productive offensively like they were against the Blazers. Even though both Houston and San Antonio play at a fast pace, this season, the Rockets play at a pace of 103.1, which ranks 2nd, while the Spurs play at a pace of 102.5, which is 4th. However, the last time these 2 teams played, the game went under 239 points. And in San Antonio's last 5 games, they are averaging 222.8 PPG. Houston, meanwhile, is averaging 215.4 PPG. I don't expect a close game nor overtime here. Under the projected total is our full game total pick. Golden State Warriors versus Memphis Grizzlies. The Golden State Warriors complete a back-to-back on Monday when visiting the Memphis Grizzlies after playing on the road Sunday in the nation's capital against the Washington Wizards. Golden State is 2nd in the Pacific Division at 48-26 and 12 games behind the first-place Phoenix Suns. The Warriors are 3rd in the Western Conference, 3.5 games behind the 2nd-place Grizzlies. Golden State was defeated by Atlanta 121-110 on Friday and has lost 4 out of the last 5. The Golden State Warriors are a mess right now. Since Steph Curry's injury, they have lost every game except a lone win against the Heat in Miami when the home team's Jimmy Butler, Udonis Haslem, and head coach Eric Spoelstra had to be separated on the sidelines. Conversely, the Grizzlies are fine without their star, Ja Morant. They have won 4 straight while scoring 128 points per game. Andre Iguodala was listed as questionable Thursday but still missed his 20th straight game with lower back tightness. Kerr said there's a chance he could play in one of the back-to-backs. Stephen Curry missed his 4th game in a row and isn't expected to return until the playoffs, so it will be up to Jordan Poole to continue his torrid pace. Poole has scored at least 20 points in 12 straight games, and although Curry's shoes are impossible to fill, he has played really well. The Warriors have really been struggling lately and their confidence took a major hit after getting outplayed by the ice-cold Wizards in their last outing. Meanwhile, the Grizzlies have been on fire lately and their confidence must be sky-high after blowing past the Bucks in another statement win without Ja Morant. The Warriors are expected to rest Green, Porter Jr. and Thompson for this one. With that said, they simply lack the scoring punch to compete with the Grizzlies. Memphis is the best rebounding team in the NBA and will dominate a short-handed Warriors team inside. If this feels like a mismatch, it is, especially with the Warriors on a back-to-back and on the road. So the Memphis Grizzlies to win and cover the spread as favorites is our full game side pick. Normally this would be a very low total for this game, but with Steph Curry and Ja Morant both out, it's easy to understand why the total is so depressed. We've seen the Memphis offense score and be efficient without Morant, but you can't say the same about the Warriors minus Curry. While the Grizzlies should do their part to score and push the total over, I don't have enough confidence that Golden State can do their part. Even though they just scored 115 against the Wizards, Washington doesn't have the defensive talent that Memphis does. With Golden State on a back-to-back and possibly resting starters, I expect their offense to struggle. Under the projected total is our full game total pick. Oklahoma City Thunder versus Portland Trail Blazers. The Oklahoma City Thunder are tanking, and it's only a matter of question whether they'll end in the last place in the West or will finish a place above. At the moment, they are 1 win above the bottom-placed Houston Rockets. The Portland Trail Blazers, on the other hand, are in a better position in the standings, but they are not going to be in the play-in after losing B2B games to the Rockets. These Northwest Division foes have met on 2 occasions this season, and Oklahoma City won both games, covering both in the process. Over the previous 10 head-to-head encounters, each team recorded 5 wins. Oklahoma City is out of playoff contention, but the Thunder can play spoiler and make it more difficult for Portland as the Trailblazers attempt to close the gap with 10th-place New Orleans. Oklahoma City has covered the number in each of its last 6, while Portland has failed to cover the nut in 4 out of its last 5. Here we have 2 of the coldest teams in the league going head-to-head in a game that doesn't mean much at this stage of the season. The Thunder haven't had much to cheer about as they've lost 11 of their last 12 games, but they were more than competitive in their narrow loss to the Nuggets on Saturday despite missing so many players, while the Trail Blazers have been ice cold and they might have just hit rock bottom after getting blown out twice in a row by the Rockets. The Oklahoma City Thunder are fielding a better roster these days, and they're also 26-11 against the spread on the road and 45-25-4 against the spread on the season. The Portland Trail Blazers are putting the worst roster in the league on the floor, and it's why they're losing their last 5 games by an average of 20 points while allowing 50.5% shooting from the field. At home, Portland has failed to cover the number in 5 of the last 6, and that trend continues on Monday with a straight-up and against-the-spread loss. So the Oklahoma City Thunder to win and cover the spread as favorites is our full game side pick. Oklahoma City has the weakest offense in the league, and even though they are facing a lenient Portland defense, it's hard to expect the Thunder to explode on Monday. Both belong among the bottom 5 when it comes to offensive rating. Firstly, these are 2 poor shooting teams. Secondly, their best players are not available. This could be a long game if you're looking for quality NBA play. The Thunder average 103 points per game, worst in the NBA, while the Blazers have managed 107 points per game, 24th in the league. There is simply no evidence to suggest that there could be enough points to take the total over. Only a crazy free throw marathon or overtime could send this game to over 223 points, both of which I seriously doubt. Under the projected total is our full game total pick. That's all for now, so if you have any other games you would like reviewed, then leave a comment down below with the game you would like analyzed. Subscribe to our channel, leave a like on this video, and we'll get to it as soon as we possibly can. We would also love to hear your opinion on the picks presented to you in this video, whether you agree or disagree with them, so leave a comment down below and do let us know.